This Grade 1 listed Saxon church is home to a stunning memorial for a national hero, which was originally created for St Paul's Cathedral. Find out why it ended up here and where I am in just a moment. Today, a fun-loving pair are on the hunt for a welcoming country retreat. And then when you have all your friends and your mad parties before the DJ set...
That's it, yeah.
Next door. And hopefully our properties prove they stand the test of time. The house is 16th century. The beams could be at least 100 years older than that.
Gosh.
So it's certainly got some history going, haven't they?
So it's not going to fall down then, is it?
Certainly not going to fall down, she says with her fingers crossed. Today I'm in Dorset and this is St Martin-on-the-Wall's church in Wareham. And here lies the beautiful effigy of one of the First World War's most remarkable figures, T.E. Lawrence, better known as Lawrence of Arabia. Renowned for his diplomatic efforts in the Middle East, Lawrence retired to Dorset to pursue his writing. After his death from a motorbike accident in 1935, his friend, the official war artist Eric Kennington, created a sculpture for St Paul's Cathedral. Now, due to political unrest at the time, it was rejected and finally found its home here in this peaceful spot, just a few miles from where Lawrence lived. A rather fitting place given his great affection for this county. Holding a prime position on England's south coast, Dorset is bordered by 4 counties, including Somerset and Wiltshire. There are no motorways or cities within its boundaries, making it a truly rural place. Instead, the winding lanes lead to around 150 villages, where idyllic limestone and thatched homes paint a perfect picture of country life. Travel from north to south, and you're soon greeted by around 95 miles of Jurassic coastline. At the far west of Dorset Shore is the historic port of Lyme Regis, featuring its iconic 13th century harbour, a curved man-made sea rampart known as the Cobb. The region has celebrated monuments such as the 1,000-year-old ruins of Corfe Castle, a former royal palace and survivor of the English Civil War. However, there's also plenty of life to experience at seaside resorts, particularly the elegant Georgian town of Weymouth. A truly British destination, pastel-coloured deck chairs line the beach promenade, where day trippers and locals alike can pause for a moment to drink in the county's spectacular scenery. At first glance, buying property in Dorset seems expensive when you learn the average price of a detached home is just over £343,000. Now that's £60,000 more than the national figure. But do remember it takes into account the multi-million-pound super homes in the Sandbanks region of Poole, which has some of the most expensive real estate in the whole of the UK. The picture becomes more realistic if you travel inwards towards the likes of Blandford Forum and Winterbourne in the north of the county, where you'll find your budget goes that little bit further. So, with that in mind, let's find out where in this gorgeous county today's house buyers want to move to. Today's buyers looking for a country escape are recently retired travelling sales rep Steve and his partner, civil servant Sue.
We met 8 years ago on the internet and we talked for about 2 weeks on emails, and 8 years later we're looking to move together.
Yes.
In one word, Steve is dippy.
Thank you. And I suppose one word I would have to describe Sue: caring and thoughtful.
That's 2 words.
That's 2 words.
Soon after meeting, Steve made the move from Birmingham to be with Sue. But whilst living together has allowed romance to blossom, they're far from in love with their current location in the Hampshire town of Farnborough.
If you walk, all you can see here really is the motorway and cars and the town.
It is very noisy and it's a little estate.
Now that Steve's son and Sue's son and daughter are grown up and Sue is on the verge of retiring, the couple see an opportunity to move to more tranquil surroundings and are planning to purchase a property together for the first time.
I was born in Dorset. I've always loved the seaside. We go back as much as we can.
And who wouldn't want to live by the Jurassic Coast? It's a lovely walking area. We both enjoy walking, and truthfully, there's no better county for me.
But while they long for the peace and quiet of the countryside, they don't want their new lifestyle to be too sedate.
We love entertaining. We're very sociable people. We enjoy doing barbecues. I used to be a DJ back in the 70s, and we've still got a vast collection of records, and we do like our music a little bit higher than maybe normal people. So just thinking about the neighbours, they might be happier if they're not joined up with us.
So, dreams of garden parties to the sounds of the 70s. But what this disco-loving duo are really looking forward to is finally spending more time with each other.
The move to us means a lot. It's just a new life.
We'll be able to spend more time together, relax and just enjoy ourselves.
Sue and Steve have asked us to concentrate our house hunt in the villages around the 3 towns of Weymouth, Wareham and Dorchester. And it's on the windswept beach at Weymouth where we're meeting up to find out just what they're looking for from their new country home.
Well, Steve and Sue, lovely to meet you. Why do you want to move here?
Well, I was born in Christchurch in Dorset, and I've always wanted to come back. I'm just about to retire, so it's a good time.
So it feels like coming home.
It does, yes.
So, new life for you. What are you looking for in the property, in the area?
Well, certainly the house, we want a detached house. We want a nice garden, big enough for vegetables and entertaining, conservatory, and as far as the house is concerned...
Well, 3 bedrooms, because we've got family, obviously, who'd like to come and stay with us. Downstairs, we'd like possibly not open plan, and I'd prefer a separate kitchen dining room, as I'm not the tidiest of people when I'm cooking.
Fair enough, fair enough. Now, you two love entertaining. I've heard a rumour about karaoke, about DJing.
It's just a rumour.
You're not going to want neighbours too
No, we
close
don't want
by,
too
are
close
you?
neighbours, no.
That's why a detached.
Right. Do you want to be sort of quite isolated, quite rural, or would you like a community on your doorstep, ideally?
Ideally, a community on the doorstep. We don't want to be too isolated.
What's the situation with your current home in Hampshire?
It's been sold.
Yes. So you really are ready to move. Yeah. So remind us how much we have to spend in this wonderful county.
It's £435,000.
Now, you're quite realistic of this area. You've got a little bit of knowledge, haven't you, about the prices? So we're looking around that figure,
Around
but
that figure,
435 is what you actually want to pay.
What we want to
Great.
pay.
Well, we do have some splendid properties lined up. Should we get started?
That's
Certainly,
great.
thank you.
For their budget of £435,000, Sue and Steve are open-minded about the style of property they live in, but they want it to be detached with a separate kitchen and dining room. They'd also love a conservatory. Upstairs, 3 bedrooms would be perfect for visiting family, and outside they'd like a garden where they can grow vegetables and entertain. A property on the edge of a village so they can be part of the local community would be ideal, and being close to the coast would be the icing on the cake. We've selected 3 fabulous properties to tempt Sue and Steve to Dorset, but only after they've had a look around each one will the price be revealed to them. Our last offering is the Mystery House, which is sure to give them something new to think about and could be the home that brings Sue back to her roots.
You're both young retirees, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you think you're going to miss work at all, or are you done?
I think I will miss the routine.
Yeah, but I can't see you two sitting still for very long.
No, certainly won't be. I mean, I want to take up fishing in a big way again.
Why did you drop it?
Well, when I met Sue, there were more important things, let's say.
More important things than fishing.
More important things than fishing, but Sue, you've gone back down again, I'm afraid. Fishing's come back up with this move.
I think she'll be glad once she's retired to get rid of me for a while.
Yes.
For our first property, we're travelling just 3 miles from the coast at Weymouth to the village of Sutton Points. Sutton, meaning South Farm, was a manor owned by the Points family in the 13th century. The picturesque village with its buildings of Purbeck stone, a local limestone, inspired the fictional village of Overthorpe in Thomas Hardy's novel The Trumpet Major. We're heading to a no-through road on the outskirts of the village, where there's a 4-bedroom detached home I want to show Sue and Steve.
So we do have an enchanting entrance.
This is a pleasant surprise.
Very, very nice.
So, what do we think?
Well, it's just lovely, very characterful, but right on the edge of the village. And look at that view over there. Oh, it's lovely.
It is, isn't it?
Yes, very, very nice.
The house was built in the 1970s. It has been extended in the last sort of 15 years or so. Now, that's local Purbeck stone.
Yeah.
Right, shall we go in and see?
I like that, yes. Determination, motivation, let's go.
A positive first impression for this property, which also features an attached double garage at the back. The living accommodation is accessed via the front entrance, and we're starting off in the sitting room.
It's just lovely and cosy.
It's nice and bright as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that a conservatory I can see up there?
So you have a conservatory here, but you've also got a sunroom at the front of the property. So off the hallway as we came in, you've got a downstairs cloakroom.
Yeah.
Plus, got storage under the stairs.
Good. Thinking of records now.
Oh, yes, the records. How many in your collection?
I've still got about 5,000 left.
That's a lot of vinyl.
It's a lot of vinyl.
So we like the sitting room so far?
Yes, very
much,
nice.
very much.
Yep.
OK, well, let's keep going. I'm going to take us through next to the kitchen. Here it is, overlooking part of your garden.
Oh, look at that amazing view.
That's great,
It's
isn't it?
lovely, isn't it?
Yes.
The kitchen as well, it's lovely. And you've got
Yes.
your double
Yeah.
ovens.
Definitely what I wanted.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very nice.
This is working for you.
Yes,
Oh,
definitely. yes.
working for me, yeah. Good.
Yes,
It's got the country kitchen.
Yes.
And you do have access to the garden. Next door to the kitchen is a separate dining room.
Oh, nice.
They prefer it being separate.
Yes,
so it
definitely
actually
for me.
works quite
Yes.
well for you, doesn't it?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I've got to remember you're entertaining, haven't I? The social couple, we like that.
Yeah.
With your karaoke parties. All right, well, let's head upstairs and see what you make of that.
Upstairs provides plenty of space, with a long central landing leading to a family bathroom serving 3 bedrooms. 2 individually styled doubles, each featuring their own wash basin, and a third that the current owners use as an office, but could be another storage option for Steve's precious records. And the 4th bedroom is, of course, the master.
Oh, this is great.
And this has something that you didn't ask for, but I know you're going to like. It has an ensuite.
Oh,
lovely.
Yes.
So it seems to be working. What feeling are you getting with this property?
It's nice and cosy. And
Yeah,
although it's a modern
very
house, it's still got a nice feel to it.
OK, well, let's head back downstairs because we've got to look at the conservatory and that all-important garden, haven't we?
This house seems to be coming up trumps so far, but I hope things are about to get even better. With barbecues and entertaining high on their agenda, I can't wait to show them the fabulous bright room that overlooks the garden.
Now, you do have this wonderful conservatory.
Lovely.
By the looks of it, it's used nearly all year round.
It is, isn't it?
Which leads us to this very secluded private terrace.
Oh, it's lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very nice.
Yes, and I can hear a water feature.
Oh,
It's quite calming, isn't it?
Yes,
is,
it is
yeah.
very calming.
that's super. It's smaller than probably we would have liked.
Yeah.
But it's tasteful. It's
Yes,
very, very nice.
And the front garden's very private,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
So you can sit there as well.
It is.
So really, you could say you've got 2 gardens.
So I'm going to have to bring you back to reality. You
yes.
sold your home, and I wonder if this is going to be your next one. Let's put a price on our first home.
Shall I go first?
Yes, you go first.
Well, I think it's going to be over budget, so I'm going to say 440.
I will like to think that it's 435.
The asking price is £450,000. We have spoken to the owners, and they are happy to have a sensible conversation.
Right.
If you want to take it further, they are also aware of your top budget.
Right, right. Oh, that's interesting,
Okay.
isn't it?
Yes.
I guess you two would like to take a little look on your own now.
Yes, we would.
Yes,
certainly would.
Please do, Steve. Sue,
Okay, thank you.
have a wander.
The current asking price of this detached house nudges £15,000 over Sue and Steve's budget, but with the vendor open to offers, it could still be theirs. The requested conservatory, along with the beautifully maintained secluded garden, could be perfect for entertaining. The double garage could be used for hobbies, storage space, or even converted into more living accommodation in the future. This house is also well located, within easy reach of the coast and Weymouth.
It is very, very nice. Everything in the property is very tasteful. Conservatory is a lot bigger than I thought it would be. It's light, it's airy, it faces the south in the morning. I couldn't wish for more. Oh yeah. Oh, here they've got a barbecue up here as well.
Yes.
So actually, it's a lot bigger than it
Yes,
seemed.
it does, doesn't it? Yeah,
Because you can use that for your barbecue, and that's straight through to the garden as well.
Yes.
And they've got a little, I know.
Greenhouse.
Yeah, they've got a little greenhouse on the side, which is all very nice.
This is an ideal location, right out in the country, but not too far from the major town of Weymouth.
We're a lot closer to the sea than we thought we ever would be, so I'm very, very pleased.
So, our very first property. What do we think?
It was amazing.
I don't know how you're going to beat that.
Do we have our work cut out, do you think?
I think you certainly do.
Well, I like the challenge because we do have more to show
Oh,
you.
good.
Great.
Let's go.
Dorset's heritage coast in the south of the county is home to Abbotsbury Subtropical Gardens, sitting in a wooded valley just above the magnificent Chesil Beach. The inland oasis was established in 1765 by the first Countess of Ilchester as a kitchen garden for her nearby castle. The castle burnt down in 1913, but the garden survived. 250 years after being founded, it's now a 30-acre haven of rare and exotic plants. The gardens are now privately owned, with around 78,000 visitors a year. Green-fingered Sue and Steve have come to meet garden curator Stephen Griffith in the Victorian Wall Garden to gain inspiration for their new Dorset pad.
So how long have you been here?
Well, I started here back in 1990, and this was a big restoration project because the gardens at the time had gone through a massive storm. Hundreds of trees were blown down and the gardens needed replanting. We had to put together a 10-year plan to restore it, and we've been planting plants from all over the world. You know, it's such a superb climate in here.
Gosh.
There are over 5,000 plants and flowers here, divided into geographical zones with species from as far away as the Himalayas, New Zealand, Australia and Chile.
So how difficult is it if you bring a plant, say, from Australia and to establish it in the garden here?
Well, we don't always import them. We tend to grow them from seed here to start them off, and then we'll harden them off, get them used to our climate. And there's a huge range of plants from Australia which will grow in the British Isles, so there's no problem with that. It's just a matter of picking the right ones. Yeah.
When he arrived here 25 years ago, Stephen's aim was to create a feast for the senses with a variety of smells, colour, textures and sounds. The kookaburras, native to Australia, which he's been breeding for the past 15 years, add to the tropical feel with their unmistakable cackle. The Mediterranean garden is also a result of Stephen's vision, and Sue and Steve are visiting at the perfect time of year.
As you can see, it's looking pretty colourful now. July is the best month to come and see it. When you think of Mediterranean, it's not just the south of France. There's Mediterranean zones from all around the world, from Chile to South America to Australasia, and even parts of Mexico all have a Mediterranean zone. So we have them all blending and mixing in this bank together.
Do different plants from different areas mix well together?
They certainly self-seed together, so we let them all grow naturally, and it creates a nice naturalistic feel to the whole area.
And how do you manage to get all these Mediterranean plants growing here when there's not that much sunshine?
Well, actually, there is a lot more sunshine on this part of the coast. We have a rain shadow effect, which means the clouds coming in off the sea tend to condense into rain on the highland behind us, and so it's raining in Dorchester all day and we're in full sunshine. So it really benefits this bank.
And what was your inspiration for the garden?
I've always been interested in growing plants from different regions to try and see how we can captivate that exotic feel in a British garden, so it's slightly different.
Have you got something we can do?
Well, actually, I've got a very special job for you today, because what we do, we bring plants out from the greenhouse in some situations to plant them out for the summer. So we've got some rather prickly cactus to plant for you, so, and they'll be coming in the bank up here. So
That sounds good.
I'll show you where they're going.
Stephen and his team of 4 gardeners use the microclimate here to full advantage and often trial plants only considered suitable for greenhouses by planting them in the open. Today, it's the turn of this spiky desert echinocactus, to see the summer sun in the Mediterranean garden.
OK.
Now, the tricky operation.
OK.
There we go. Perfect.
So you leave it in the pot?
Absolutely. No point in taking it out for now. So all we have to do is to hide the pot. But of course, in time, the pot will be too small for it as it grows, then we just put it into a bigger pot. And we'll give it a good soaking with water a bit later, and that should settle in for the summer. So there we are, echinocactus, out for the summer.
Thank you very much, Steve.
Now it's back to our house hunt to try and find Sue and Steve the home that will give them their very own slice of Dorset paradise. For our second property, we're heading north and inland, 30 miles from the county town of Dorchester to the village of Mapowder. With the name meaning maple tree, Mapowder has a striking parish church. Constructed in the perpendicular Gothic style, with strong vertical lines and large windows, parts of the building date back to the 12th century. It's just 2.5 miles from the amenities of Hazelbury Bryan, where there's a pub, a well-stocked village store and a post office. A 5-minute drive back to Mapowder is this detached 3-bedroom period cottage I want to show our couple next.
And this is the second house.
Oh, it's the thatch.
It's a 16th century thatch.
Very old then.
Amazing. Yes.
They last on average about 30 years. This one was done 15 years ago, and the ridge at the top has been done very recently. So it's estimated you'll probably get another good 15 years out of that, as long as you keep an eye on the ridge. So we haven't scared you, we haven't put you off?
No, not at all.
No, I love the roses above the door. It's a very chocolate box cottage.
It certainly is, certainly is. Well, let's see what you make of the inside.
Right.
This delightful Grade 2 listed cottage was extended at the back on the ground floor 8 years ago. But we're starting in the old part of the home with its many original features.
So the door opens straight into the sitting room.
I love the fireplace.
Oh, well, straight away you look straight at it, don't you?
Yeah.
It's wonderful, yeah.
What are we thinking of the beams?
They don't worry me at all. I don't know what Sue feels about that.
It does feel, obviously it's a cottage, so it does feel very low.
I mean,
but it
I'm
is-
not tall enough to bang my head on that one, so that's not a problem.
House is 16th century. The beams could be at least 100 years older than that.
Gosh.
So it's certainly got some history going, haven't they?
So it's not going to fall down then, is it?
Certainly not going to fall down, she says with her fingers crossed. So we can go one of two ways, either straight ahead towards the light, so to speak, or we can turn left. I'll tell you what, let's turn left, see what's in
Okay,
there.
we'll see what's in there.
Yeah.
So next door is a separate dining room.
Oh, this is lovely,
right.
isn't it?
Oh, that's-
Yes.
It's very light, isn't it? They've lightened this room up nicely.
Yes, and the wood store there for the...
Yes, for your wood burner.
It's got a lovely sort of smell about it as well, hasn't it? Kind of a
Yes.
bit like a fire.
So if we've got a dining room that we all agree is rather wonderful, we also need
A kitchen.
the kitchen. So the kitchen is through here. Now this is the extension. Beautiful garden room.
Oh, it's very nice. Isn't it?
The sun coming through. I think I need sunglasses. Here's the kitchen. It definitely works having this extension out the back.
And it must be very difficult to build onto a building that has been round since the 1500s.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
Also, it's been built out of brick rather than the local stone.
They've done this very well.
What do you think of the kitchen itself?
Yeah, it's nice and light.
And I quite like the cupboards. I like the flagstone flooring.
Yeah, that's nice. I think it goes with the whole thing, sort of fits in nicely.
How do you feel about the house so far?
I would say I'm not as wowed as the last house, but I'm still keeping an open mind about it.
It's
until
different,
the end.
isn't it?
It is.
The ground floor of this charming cottage also provides a utility space and a cloakroom with a useful shower. Stairs lead up to a landing where there's a modern family bathroom shared by 3 bedrooms, a cosy single, a compact double, and another larger double bedroom.
A little bit smaller than probably I'd have liked, but a nice seated area over there.
Yeah, nice window seat.
Yeah.
Even though it opens out onto the road, but I guess this isn't a busy road, is it?
No, it's a quiet
Yeah.
road, isn't it?
Right.
So I guess it's time to head out and take a look at the garden, the all-important garden.
OK, let's
We're
go.
going to follow you this time, Steve.
The cottage may not have wowed Sue and Steve so far, but the real bonus here lies outside. There's a pretty and mature front garden, a garage that could be used for DJ paraphernalia, and the star feature, a third of an acre back garden with views across miles of rolling countryside.
We're getting blown around, but it's not going to detract from the garden, is it, Steve?
It's a beautiful garden. I see we've got a little pool over there
Just
as well.
for you.
Yes.
Get you a stall and a fishing rod.
And a lovely view behind us, isn't it?
Gorgeous views, as far as the eye can see. And anyway, that's what you're after, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
That's what you're after.
Garden and-
Also, what you could do is have a wooden building, a little wooden shed down here, barbecue, could be a summer house, play your music, invite your guests to the back of the garden, don't have to worry about anybody else.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Well, we've got to put a price on this house.
Oh, and I suppose it's my go first this
Why
time.
not, Steve? Why not? Go on, what are we thinking?
Well, I think I'm going to go for 410.
410, okay then?
I think maybe a bit more than that, 415.
Your top budget is £435,000. The asking price is £449,950. So £50 off that £450,000 mark. Now, it's been on the market since late last summer. The owner is keen. So if you were interested, would look at the top of your budget, around the £435,000 mark. We have had that conversation.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So take the opportunity now on your own, have a chat, walk around together. And I think I'm going to get out the wind.
OK, Nikki, we'll see you.
After you.
This Grade 2 listed cottage may be £15,000 over Sue and Steve's top budget, but as the owner is willing to negotiate, this home could make Dorset country living a reality. It has the 3 bedrooms they've asked for and a garage that could offer additional storage, plus plenty of garden space for barbecues.
It's a real picture book Dorset country cottage.
I like the extension. The kitchen was very nice, and really the garden was superb.
The garden is very nice, lots of potential to change it into the way we wanted, and the views were lovely.
Ah, my couple. Have you seen enough?
Yes, we have.
So we've shown you contrasting styles and contrasting periods of property. Quite different today, isn't it?
Yes,
Oh, it certainly
two
was,
very
yes.
different properties.
So you can relax now, you can think about what you've seen, and guess what? Got another little treasure up our sleeve for tomorrow morning.
Oh, looking forward to
Yeah,
that.
the mystery house.
Excellent. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Come on.
It's the second day in Dorset, and armed with a budget of £435,000, we're on a mission to find Sue and Steve from Farnborough in Hampshire the first home they've bought together in a county they both love. We've still got a shiny new mystery house to reveal.
This was a property that you might not have considered yourselves.
No, I don't think we would, definitely not.
And it's hit or miss when I get in the saddle.
Here we go. Not even close. Well, we started off yesterday on the right note. After meeting Sue and Steve on the beach in Weymouth, our first property was literally just a few miles away and very well received. A great start to our property search here in Dorset. Our second offering, that beautiful thatched house more north of the county, didn't quite hit the mark with our couple, although they both fell in love with the garden and that amazing vista. So it's time now for our third and final home. Of course, it is our mystery house. Now, I think this is a property that our couple wouldn't have considered themselves. It was only built a few years ago, but it certainly has the character and style that they're after. And my goodness, what a garden. But after yesterday, have you been dreaming and thinking about houses?
Definitely. We've been discussing house number 1.
Just that garden is the only thing we, not sure, but
We've already been planning things we could do with it.
it's a new day.
It's a new day, it's a
Yeah.
new mystery house.
It is, yes.
What's going through your minds?
Well, I hope it's not a converted chapel, but I wonder if it might be something with a project.
I don't know. I think it could probably be a new build, or maybe one level living.
Hopefully not too many negative things.
Yeah.
We are quite open.
The destination for our mystery property is 10 miles northeast of Dorchester in the village of Melcombe Bingham. the village merges with the further settlement of Anstey, where there's a local shop, a handy post office, pub, and even a garden centre in close proximity. Back in Melcombe Bingham, bookworms are served by a reading exchange and mobile library, while the pathways around the Dorset Downs are very popular with walkers. The village itself is dotted with plenty of pretty period properties, but I have a surprise in store for Sue and Steve. The centrally located detached mystery house may not be old, but it still has plenty of character.
So it is our final property to show you here in Dorset.
It's not a converted chapel,
It's not a converted chapel.
but it is a new build.
It is a new build.
Ah,
It's lovely, isn't it?
yeah.
Very interesting.
We thought this was a property that you might not have considered yourselves.
No, I
No.
don't think we would, definitely not.
What's going through your minds?
It's very nice. I do like the look. I like the flint and the brick and the windows.
We like the outside. Let's see what you think.
Yes,
Inside the
lead
property.
on.
Built in the year 2000, the characterful nature of the mystery property has so far been a hit, and the charm offensive continues inside as we go through the entrance hallway and head to the sitting room.
Oh, this is very nice. I like
Oh,
the
yes, I
French
like this.
windows, the
Yeah.
French doors out to the patio.
Love the beam as well, and it fits with the fireplace. Beautiful fireplace. You wouldn't realise it was a new build.
It's got character,
Yeah,
hasn't
it
and
has.
charm.
A lot of character.
So far, so good?
So far,
So far,
good.
so
All right, well, if
good.
you'd like to follow me. The all-important separate dining room,
Oh, yes.
right next door to our kitchen.
Yeah, that's really nice. Lovely size.
And I like the colour of the cupboards.
Yeah.
Oh, and look at that cooker.
So for the two of you, perfect dining area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when you have all your friends and your mad parties before the DJ set,
That's it. Yeah.
next door. Sue, would you change anything in this kitchen?
No, I don't think I would change anything in the kitchen.
No.
No.
Heading upstairs now.
Okay.
The ground floor also has a utility space and cloakroom, whilst upstairs the landing leads to a family bathroom which serves 3 bedrooms. There are 2 doubles at the front of the house, one slightly smaller than the other, and a 3rd bedroom at the back, which is currently being used as a study. Next to it, a master ensuite, which enjoys a peaceful outlook over the garden.
Yes, a nice size. Just the right size, really. You don't want anything too big. I mean, you know, we only sleep up here, don't we?
Storage isn't there as well.
Yeah.
Now we know that the garden is just as important as the house.
I keep looking out the window.
So Steve, if you wouldn't mind making your way back down the stairs.
Okay.
Thank you. And Sue, there's something very special in the garden for Steve.
Oh, good. I can't wait.
A great response to the house, and outside, the impressively landscaped garden wrapping around the property has more to wow Sue and Steve. They could enjoy their own produce from a vegetable patch and fruit trees. And with a choice of areas to barbecue, it's a perfect space for guests. Plus, after all that entertaining, they could unwind next to the rather special water feature.
Ta-da!
Your own river.
There you go.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
You could be fishing out here for hours. Might not catch anything.
Yeah, I don't
It'll keep you
think so.
busy.
Yeah, what a feature.
It's not every day we can find a beautiful garden with a stream.
Oh, it's fabulous. Really is nice.
What do we think?
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, and I like it. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
the sound
Yeah,
of
the
water.
water.
It's sitting there, hearing the water. It's
Yeah, it's
just
very-
does something to you. It
very
calms you
peaceful.
down. Yeah.
So for our final time, we've got to put an amount on our mystery house.
I think this is definitely over budget, so I'm going to say 460.
OK?
Oh, I would say 445.
Asking price, £450,000.
Right.
Oh.
The one thing I will say is you have sold your property. You're in a
Yes.
great position to have a conversation.
Yeah. Yes, certainly we've got to talk about this, haven't
Yes, yes.
So I guess you're going to want to have another little look around on your own this
We
time.
certainly are.
we? Yes,
Please do.
Nikki.
Thank you.
Enjoy it. See you in a little while.
Thanks.
Thank you.
This house may be £15,000 over budget, but with their house already sold, our buyers couldn't be in a stronger position to negotiate with the vendor. With 4 bedrooms, there's space for Steve's records. Downstairs, the large sitting room and separate dining room are ideal for indoor entertaining. Outside, the landscape gardens could be used to host parties, and what could be better for angling enthusiast Steve than his very own stretch of stream?
Well, it's certainly a house with a wow factor. They've done it so tastefully, and 4 bedrooms, which is a plus. Ideal.
Look at that, it's lovely, isn't it?
Beautiful.
I'm blown away by the garden. It's so well set out, so many different areas. Just lovely. I don't think you could ask for any more.
We're going to have a big problem deciding. This is very nice. I'm very impressed with the mystery house. I'm glad that we were bought here.
Oh, my word. We have put the cat amongst the pigeons, haven't we?
Definitely.
That was going to be my exact words.
Was it?
Yeah, we don't know what to do now, really.
Yes, it's so lovely and so quiet and peaceful.
You two need a bit of time together, don't you?
We certainly do, yes. We've
So
got
why
a
don't
lot
we
to
do
talk
that?
about.
Yeah, have a chat. Let's have a little drink and
Yeah.
find out what your next move's going to be.
OK, sounds
Right.
good to us.
Come on.
The beaches of Dorset have seen their fair share of activity over the centuries. Smuggling, shipwrecks, and of course, the calmer pursuits of swimming and sunbathing. But it's not perhaps somewhere you'd expect to stumble upon a game originally played in Asia around the start of the 1st century and described as the sport of kings. For the last 8 years, Sandbanks near Poole has played host to the British Beach Polo Championships. As the event prepares for the 2015 contest, I've come to meet organiser Johnny Wheeler to find out more about the sport.
Johnny, good to meet you. Now, who is this beautiful creature?
Well, this is a lovely polo pony called Topita.
Hello to Peter. Now, this is a first for me because I've never heard of beach polo.
It's polo on the beach. Very similar rules to conventional grass polo, but the arena is normally a little smaller. So conventionally, we play 3-on-3 as opposed to 4 against 4 on grass.
4 minutes 49 to play.
Taking
Back
large
into
organised
play.
polo matches to the seaside is a relatively recent occurrence, beginning around 2 decades ago. Dorset hosted the first event of this type in the UK, and the public can sneak a peek at the action.
Right off.
What we do is we build big sand bars along the edge of the arena. So at the weekend, this beach will be packed with people, and they will all have a chance to come and sit on our sand dunes and watch the polo.
British beach polo, how wonderful. Now, what are the differences? How are you going to actually spot a ball in this sand?
So we use an inflatable ball so it doesn't get stuck in the sand.
Today I'm going to find out what's involved, as Johnny has lined up some instruction with one of the founders of Dorset's only polo club, Robert Brockett.
So, Rob, am I going to have a beginner's lesson?
Yeah, we're going to start you nice and slowly, Nikki, get you on board and
Yeah.
get going.
Looking forward to it.
Okay.
Although I've ridden horses before, polo playing requires some specific skills. To start with, I have to get familiar with holding the reins in my left hand in order to leave my right free to hold the polo stick.
Here we are. If you have your hand out, that's it.
That way?
Palm up, perfect. Just hang that off there.
Yeah.
And then roll the strap over the back of your hand. Lovely. How does that feel?
Feels different, I'll give it that. It's not your usual crop, is it?
It isn't indeed. And when we're riding, you just have the stick upright. That's perfect. And then the weight of the stick is over your shoulder, so it's not so heavy.
Right, OK.
Unlike regular riding, it's the weight of the reins on the neck rather than the bit in the mouth that helps the player direct the horse.
Have a little play with the steering. How's that? Nice and responsive?
Yep, very.
And if we come back to a stop, just so we know we can do it.
Yeah.
Well, I know how to stop at least. Now for a first attempt at hitting the ball from the saddle.
Just walk up and tap the ball forward. Nice, relaxed swing. That's great, Nikki.
It's the sensitivity of the horse, literally the smallest of movement,
Absolutely.
and she responds.
Yeah, they don't need an awful lot of instruction.
Yeah, amazing.
The horses may need minimal instruction, but I think I need a few more lessons before I'm ready to play this game.
Here we go.
Lovely.
Not even
Yeah,
close.
that's good, Nikki. That's great.
Oh,
Unlucky.
It's not as easy as Robert makes it look, but I'm determined to hit that ball.
Brilliant. That's really nice. Lovely shot.
the sport of queens.
And after a few minor successes, I can really begin to appreciate the continued appeal of this exhilarating sport, but it's probably best if I leave it to the professionals. 3 days after my attempt, the competition is in full swing, a 2-day event on the golden sands of the glorious Sandbanks beach, attracting competitors from around the world.
I've had a very enjoyable few days with Sue and Steve, showing them around this rather wonderful county. We've shown them 3 properties, we've had 2 great reactions, but I think I left them rather confused with which way to go next. So we've given them some time to settle their thoughts. Let's see what they've got to say. Well, Steve and Sue, our music and gardening-loving couple, I wonder, how have we done, Sue?
You've done exceptionally well. We loved house number 1, and today when we saw the new build house, which we never thought we would look at, we were astounded by that one as well.
So the mystery house?
Yes, the mystery house.
Did its magic.
It's fabulous from the outside. It was a little further out, a little further north than maybe we would have liked.
So the first house, very close to Weymouth.
Yes.
Right by the coast. What is it about that property that appealed so much?
We didn't think we would get a house that close to the coast for the price we could afford. And the house itself, when you walked into the house, the upstairs was fabulous. The downstairs, again, I couldn't really fault it. The garden was the only area that is a possible problem with the house, but I really like it. I certainly would have given that 9 out of 10.
In fact, we like it so much, we've made an appointment to go back and see it tomorrow.
Have you?
Yes.
Already?
Already, yes.
First thing tomorrow morning?
Yes.
First thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Well, that's sounding very, very positive. And perhaps the compromise is being so close to the sea. It's a smaller garden.
It is.
You know, when you
Yes.
look at budgets and things. Well, we've just given you a flavour, but you like the taste, don't you?
We do.
We do, yes.
I really hope that second viewing tomorrow with the property right by the coast goes well. And, well, let's hope it's yours in a matter of months. I'll be keeping everything crossed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
We often talk about the high cost of living by the sea, but as you've just heard, if you're willing to compromise, you can have the best of both worlds, countryside and coastal living. For Steve and Sue, this is the start of an exciting new chapter in their lives, the first time they'll have bought a house together. I just hope that second viewing goes as well as the first. And that's it. It's goodbye from me from Dorset, but I'll see you again on Escape to the Country.
Sue and Steve did revisit our first property, and they've had an offer accepted on it. So they're getting ready to begin their new life in Dorset together, and we wish them the very best of luck. If you would like to escape to the country in England, Scotland, Wales or Northern Ireland and need our help, please apply online at bbc.co.uk/Be On A Show.